Hello students, today we will study unit number 2 AC circuits, in which we are going to understand the most important topic, which is your series RLC circuit. So over here we will consider two different cases for the same topic, and why we have to consider two different cases for this topic, that also we will understand. So in short, each and everything we are going to understand regarding to that series RLC circuit in this video. So I hope you are ready with your pen and paper. So without wasting much time, let us start this video. Okay. So RLC circuit means what? That it is such type of circuit in which single resistor, single inductor and single capacitor are used, and all these three devices are connected in series. How? So first of all, we will draw one say inductor whose inductance is L. Then we will draw one capacitor whose capacitance is C. Then we will draw one resistor whose resistance is R, and all these three devices are connected in series with one alternating voltage source. Okay. Now, for our easiness, we will consider that current is flowing in the clockwise direction for some particular time, because as direction of current is changing, so for particular time what we will assume, current is flowing in clockwise direction, having the equation of I is equals to Im of sine of omega t. Now, as these three devices are connected in series, that is why whatever amount of current that will pass through the inductor, same amount of the current will pass through the capacitor as well as through the resistor. That means that same current will flow along these three devices as all three devices are connected in series. That means equation of current for all these three devices are same, but potential difference across these three devices would be different. So let us say over here potential difference across inductor is suppose VL, potential difference across that capacitor is VC, and potential difference across resistor is VR. Okay. Now we know very well that point 1 I am going to write. Point 1, what? For the case of pure resistive circuit, what we know for the case of pure resistive circuit, we know that whatever current is there, current is in phase with potential, or you can say voltage, that we know very well. Okay, so for that purpose, if I want to draw the diagram, so over here I will draw like this. That is what? That is your VR I will write, and current is in the phase with potential, so that is your suppose I. Okay, now if you want to find out the equation for potential when only and only resistor is used, so equation of current is this. So potential equation will be what? For resistor it will be your Im, means Vm of R sine of omega t. Over here phase of current and potential both are in both are same. Why? Because both are in phase with each other. Okay, suppose that will be our equation number 1. Okay, now second point, we know very well when only capacitor is used. So for the case of pure capacitive circuit, what we know? For the case of pure capacitive circuit, we know very well that whatever current is there, that current leads the potential by pi by 2. Current leads the potential by pi by 2. And same thing if you want to represent on the phasor diagram, so you can draw like this downwards. That is what? V of what? V of C. Okay, that represent what? Current leads the potential by pi by 2. That means current leads the potential by pi by 2. That means voltage is lags behind the current. Okay, now for that, if we want to write down the equation, so I can write like this, that potential across capacitor is equals to what? Vm of C sine of omega t minus pi by 2. Why we are writing minus pi by 2? Because over here whatever potential is there, that potential lags behind the current, यानी potential current से पीछे चल रहा है. पीछे means minus, कितना पीछे? pi by 2 जितना पीछे. Okay, so say equation number 2. Okay, now next, third one is what? When only inductor is used, so what we will write? That for the case of pure inductive circuit, what we know? We know that whatever current is there, that lags behind the potential by pi by 2. Current lags behind the potential by pi by 2. On the phasor diagram, if I want to represent, so it will be like this. That is your V, what? VL. Okay, current lags behind the potential, that means current lags behind the potential by 2. That means potential leads the current. आगे कौन चल रहा है? Potential, current. That means if equation of current is this, so we can write the potential across the inductor, which is what? It is your Vm of inductor sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Why plus pi by 2? Because potential leads, आगे चल रहा है कितना? pi by 2, 90 degree current से, so plus pi by 2. Suppose that is your equation number 3. Okay, now next what we can do, that over here three values you have. When alone resistor is used, at that time maximum value will be this. When alone capacitor is used, then maximum value will be this. And when alone inductor is used, at that time maximum value would be this. Now these three values I will represent on the phasor diagram. How? Instead of VR, so I will write instead of VR, Vm of R. Instead of VL, I can write Vm of L, and instead of Vc, I will write Vm of C, maximum potential. Okay. Similarly, that same diagram we can draw in terms of resistance also. How? That type of diagram I will draw. That line represents what? Maximum potential in resistor. So it has the resistance, supposing I will say R. Okay. Now that represents what? Maximum potential in inductor. So in the case of inductor, one quantity is there which will behave like a resistance, which is what? Which is your XL, inductive reactance, and that is your capacitor. In the capacitor, whatever resistance is there, that resistance is known as XC, which is what? Capacitive reactance. Okay. Now we have three values: VMR, VMC, VL, and VML. That means these are the individual values. When only capacitor resistor is used, at that time it is VMR. When only capacitor is used, then its value is VMC. When only inductor is used, at that time its value is VML. But over here all three devices are combined. That means we have to find out the resultant value of maximum potential. So how we'll find out the resultant value of maximum potential, which is your Vm? So we cannot write Vm is equals to Vm of R plus Vm of C plus Vm of L. We cannot do the algebraic sum to find out the resultant maximum potential. Why? Because these values represents what? These value represents vector. So that cannot be added algebraically. They have to add vectorially. Okay. Achha. So now if you want to find out the resultant, which is Vm of all these three values, then you don't know that whatever resultant value of Vm is there, that will pass above the Vm of R, which is Vm, or below Vm of R, which is Vm. पता नहीं है ऊपर से रिजल्टेंट जाएगा कि नीचे से रिजल्टेंट जाएगा. So that is why we have to consider two cases to find out that resultant will pass above the graph or below the graph. So first case over here we will discuss. So over here I will write case number 1. Now which type of case? So that is only for your explanation, that resultant will pass above the graph or below the graph. That to find out this, we have to case two cases. First case is what? So let us assume that whatever value of Vm of L is there, that is greater than value of Vm of C. This value is greater than that value. Or you can say from this graph VL is greater than Vc. So you can write XL is greater than Xc. Okay. Now supposing Vm is 5 and Vc is 3. So what we can say, 5 minus 3, resultant will be upward, 2 unit upward, 5 minus 3, so 2 unit upward you can write. So I will draw one more diagram. So that vector represents what? That vector represents Vm of L minus Vm of C. That vector resultant is upward. Why upward? Because VML is greater than VC. Okay. Now remaining is what? Remaining is R, and in the direction of R we are writing I. Okay. Now one thing is confirmed. What? Whatever that is your Vm of R. Sorry, my mistake. That is Vm of R. Now one thing is confirmed. What? Whatever resultant value of maximum potential is there, that will pass like this at an angle of phi. Okay. Now similarly, same diagram you can draw. XL is greater than XC. XL is suppose phi, XC is suppose 2. So XL minus XC will be upward, resultant will be upward. So I will draw this line which represents what? Which represents XL minus XC. XL is greater than XC, and remaining is what? Remaining is R. Okay. Now that is what resistance, one type of resistance which is known as inductance, and that is also resistance. So we have to find out what? Resultant resistance, which is nothing but the impedance Z, you know very well. Okay. Now from this diagram you have to find out the resultant value of Vm. That means you have to add vectorially. How you will add vectorially? You know very well that if two vectors are there, suppose vector A and vector B, and if you want to find out its resultant, so you are drawing one parallelogram like this, that is your resultant vector. So equation was what? That R is equals to under square root of A square, first vector B square, plus 2AB cos theta. Theta is what? Angle between two vectors. Over here angle between two vectors is what? It is theta is equals to pi by 2. Okay, so that thing you know very well. So now we will add both of these vectors to find out the resultant value of Vm. So how we'll add? So we'll write we want Vm. So Vm is equals to what? Under square root of first vector square Vm of R square plus second vector square, that is your second vector. So it will be Vm of L minus Vm of C whole square plus next what we are writing? First vector minus second vector. So it will be your cos theta. We are writing cos theta. Cos theta means what? Angle between two vectors, and cos theta pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is what? 0. 0 means need not to write remaining term. Okay. Okay. Now that is your square root. So Vm square if I will do. So it will be your Vm of R square plus Vm of L minus Vm of C square. So Vm square is equals to, now V is equals to what? IR. So I will write square is there. So I square R square, okay, plus Vm of L. Vm of L is what? IR. But in the case of inductor, instead of R we are writing inductive reactance which will behave like a resistance, so which is XL. So I will write XL minus Vm of C. V is equals to what? IR. So over here we will not write R, but we will write XC. XC is what? It is one type of resistance which is known as capacitive reactance. So whole square. Okay. So Vm square is equals to what we can write? I will take common as Im square. So it will be your Im square, I will take common. Then inside of the bracket, that will be your R square plus that is your XL minus XC whole square. If I will write Vm, so Vm is equals to square root of this. So it will be your Im under square root of what? R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Okay, now this equation we will compare with one equation, which one? V is equals to IR. Vm is equals to Im R. So Vm is present, Im is present. So remaining this term indicates what? This term indicates the addition of two or more resistance. That is also one type of resistance, that is also one type of resistance, and that is resistance. So when combination of resistance are there, then its resultant is known as impedance, and impedance is represented by what? Impedance is represented by Z. So Vm is equals to Im into Z. That whole term is known as impedance, whose unit is ohm. So over here unit value of impedance is how much? It is your R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So that value you have to remember. Okay, now that is what? That is the magnitude. Now if you want to find out the direction, direction means at which angle? Phi. So for that purpose, in this diagram over here I will write, in this diagram we will draw one line. That line is what? XL minus XC. Okay, from that if I want to find out the value of tan phi, then tan phi is what? Tan phi is perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is what? XL minus XC, and base is what? Base is R. So phi is equals to tan of inverse XL minus XC divided by R. So that will indicate what? That will indicate the direction. And also from this diagram you can verify this equation. How? That is your 90 angle. So Pythagoras law you will apply. Z is equals to what? Under square root of R square plus XL minus XC square. So in this way also you can verify. And if you want to find out the power factor value, so you know that power factor is represented by cos of phi. So cos of phi, from this diagram, cos phi, how you can write? That is your base by hypotenuse. So R by Z, which is equals to R by Z value is what? Z value is this. So it will be your under square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So that is the value of power factor cos phi. So that is all about case number 1, in which each and every equations are useful to calculate the numerical, and that case is based on what? When that Vm of L is greater than Vm of C. Why we are considering so? Because we have to find out the direction of Vm. Now we'll consider the second case. In second case, what we will do? In second case, we will assume that Vm of L is less than Vm of C. That is your case number 2. So for that purpose, again over here I am going to rub each and everything. I hope you have noted it down. So next case we will consider. Next case, opposite of first case. Simple. So for that purpose, first of all let me rub it. Then we will discuss. Okay. First, okay. Case number 2. Case number 2. Which thing we can write? Case number 2. That now we will say that Vm of C is greater than Vm of L, or you can say what? Vm of C. So it will be your XC is greater than XL. That is your case number 2. That means what? That now that Vm of C is 5, and that is your supposing 3. So 5 minus 3 resultant will be downwards. So over here I will draw one vector diagram like this. That will represent what? That will represent Vm of C minus Vm of L. Why downward? Because Vm of C is greater than Vm of L. Okay. Remaining is what? Remaining is R. So over here I will write Vm of R. Okay. Now we have to find out what? Resultant value of maximum potential. So now we can say that resultant value of maximum potential will pass at an angle of phi. That will be your resultant value. Okay. Similarly, we can draw the graph over here also. How? That XC is greater than XL. So XC is greater than XL means now it is phi and now it is 2. So resultant will be downward. So I will draw one downward vector which represents what? XC minus XL, and that is your resistance, and resultant of this resistance is known as impedance, which is your Z. Okay. Now you have to add these two vectors. So how will add to find out the magnitude? So you know very well that Vm is equals to what? Under square root of first vector is what? Vm of R square plus next vector is what? Vm of C minus, that is your minus. So Vm of C, Vm of L whole square plus remaining is what? Cos theta term. Cos theta is, that is your theta. Theta is what? Pi by 2. So cos pi by 2 or cos 90 is 0, so need not to write. So Vm is equals to Vm square if I want to do. So it will be your Vm of R square plus that is your Vm of C minus Vm of L whole square. So Vm square is equals to Vm is what? I R. So I square R square plus that is your Vm of C means IR. So I XC minus Vm of L means IR. So it will be your XL whole square. So Vm square is equals to Im square. Im square I will take common. So Im square common multiply with R square plus XC minus XL. That is your whole square. So I will find Vm. Vm is what? Square root of this. So Im multiply with R square plus XC minus XL whole square. Now again this term is known as what? R. So Vm is equals to Im into Z. So that value you have to remember when XC is greater than XL. So impedance value we can write like this. Impedance value over here I will write like this, like that. Why? That is known as difference. So if XL is greater than XC, then XL minus XC. If XC is greater than XL, then difference you have to take XC minus XL. So you can draw this type of difference symbol also. Now if you want to find out the direction of this, so from the diagram what we can write? From the diagram that tan phi is equals to what? Over here I will draw one line which represents XC minus XL. So tan phi is equals to what? It is your that perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is what? XC minus XL divided by base is R. So phi is equals to tan inverse XC minus XL divided by R. Okay, now if you talk about the power factor, so power factor is represented by cos phi, and cos phi value from the diagram what we can say? Base by hypotenuse, so R by Z. Okay, now in the previous diagram I forgot to say that in case 1, that is your resultant, that means potential, whatever potential is there, that potential leads the current by phi. So at that time if equation of current is this, so equation of potential will be what? Resultant, that is your Vm sine of omega t plus phi for case 1, that is your case 1. Okay. Why plus phi we are writing? Because resultant is passing above this graph, so that means Vm is leading the current and current phase is omega t, so Vm phase will be plus phi. So that's why we have to write like that. Okay. Similarly, for case 2, we can say what? That whatever resultant is there, that resultant lags behind the current, that is your current I. That is your current I lags behind the current. So at that time equation will be what? So at that time I will write the equation somewhere over here I will write. So equation will be V is equals to Vm sine of omega t minus phi. Okay, why I am writing that is for case number 2. Why minus phi? Because from the diagram you can say that Vm lags behind the current. That means lags means पीछे चल रहा है. पीछे कितना चल रहा है? phi इतना. पीछे means minus phi. Okay. So these two equations you have to remember for case 1 and case 2. So now I would like to end this video. Still third case is also there, in which we will consider that VML is equals to VMC or XL, that is your XL is equals to XC. That is the case of resonance condition. So for that purpose I will prepare the next video in which we will understand the RLC resonance. So till then, read hard, work hard. Thank you very much.